This is the type of question where this brings the best out of us. Nick Gelona asks, if the fingers on one of your hands could each magically produce an unlimited supply of any liquid, which five liquids would you choose?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
First of all, which hand would you want it to be? I think I'd want the left.
Really?
Think so.
So you
I
could
don't know.
hold
I
your
think it would
drink
be
with the
weird.
right and
Yeah, because I would hold with the right because I'm right-handed, and then I would fire the liquid out of my left fingers. Right?
mix your drink with your
Yeah, yeah. I my first three are easy. Water. I mean, how cool? Just like a crisp filtered water.
yeah.
Black coffee,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go Pinot Noir because I'm just gonna be straight up with you, Ted. Those are my three main liquids. I used to be a big Diet Dr Pepper guy. For whatever reason, I gave it up for Lent. Haven't missed it at all. Haven't had it since. And I love it,
Yeah.
love it. But I gave it up for Lent and just haven't had one, and I haven't really missed it at all. So yeah, my main three liquids. Let me just tell you right now, buddy. If coffee and red wine aren't good for you, like a lot of people say they are, I am screwed.
I was about to say, like, how much more likely are you to get a splash of red wine throughout the day if you've got it on tap at the finger?
Just a just a glass of red wine at lunch.
Yeah.
Just yeah, absolutely. Do it like the Europeans do it. Just give me some lunch wine. Let's go. I I think those would be the main three. Give me some time to think about the other two. But what do you got for your five
I
liquids coming out
guess
of your fingers? That's a hilarious concept.
I guess I would go water. I would go see, I like coffee, but it's not like I like the taste of coffee. It all it is a mechanism to deliver the caffeine. I'll take the caffeine in any form.
You are a massive Crystal Light packet caffeine guy.
Yeah.
I would say I feel like I know us. Both of us we consume an alarming amount of caffeine.
Hmm. A lot of caffeine.
I am at a minimum a 4 cups of coffee a day guy. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I have way the pre-workout drink I have in the morning has 4 cups of coffee in it alone.
I have somehow avoided getting back into the pre-workout game, which I think is probably the best for my long-term or
It
for my
can't be
longevity.
good for you. It cannot be good for you.
I just my pre-workout is 3 cups of coffee and an apple with peanut butter, and then we're rolling, baby.
Yeah, I like it. That's probably good. So I guess like the reason I say this because I don't know, like I'd want water, but what caffeine, uh, what delivery mechanism would I go with? Would I go with coffee? Probably not. It's not that I really like the Crystal Light. I don't really like it, but it delivers the caffeine. So, gosh, I don't know.
Caffeinated Crystal Light is number 2 on the list. Look at you.
I guess
I mean, I
lack
guess
of a better option.
I'm I'm water number 1, black coffee number 2, Pinot Noir. Now, do we need to get into regions? Like what region I want my Pinot Noir from? Just give me. I'll take it from California. It's fine.
Just whatever.
Just a nice light Pinot Noir, kind of an all day, but you can drink it any time of day. Maybe breakfast if you're feeling crazy. What?
See,
But
I think I would also go with the Dr. Pepper. You know,
ooh,
I know you're refraining from that, but I would probably, if I had a Dr. Pepper on tap at all times, I'd be a happy man.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe Diet Dr. Pepper is in mine. You know what I've been on lately? Remember when I got that stomach bug?
Yeah.
Started drinking some Gatorade Zero.
Uh-huh.
Those things are tasty.
They're pretty good.
Just the
They're
little,
pretty good.
it was like the little bottles too.
Y- Do you like coconut water?
I drank a bunch of it when I was playing, and I really kind of got off of it. I never minded it. I don't yearn for it, but it's
It's ex
fine.
it's incredibly expensive. I like the Vita Coco coconut water.
Those are good.
If if I had that on tap, I would that's a go-to for me. I would put that on tap.
Well, there you go. Is it really bad? People may judge me for this. Is it bad that I may just round out the hand with tequila and Topo Chico? Is that bad? That way I could just, dude, just think. And maybe I'd go with the lime Topo Chico. That way
Mhm.
you could just do tequila sodas on tap at all times.
Yeah, it's smart because it's like, and Oklahoma misses the final field goal wide left and lose the football game. It's just like,
So I'm gonna get Ted a shot of tequila.
Gabe, I need you real quick.
Now, of course, Schooner All American Ale would be on both of ours. Let's be real,
On tap, baby.
on tap. But so, what's your final five? I'm going water, black coffee, Pinot Noir, tequila, and lime Topo Chico. Those are my five.
I'll go. I'll go water, crystal. I guess I'll go Crystal Light caffeinated version. I really don't like that pick. But I got to have a caffeine version of something in there. And I feel like the yellow can of Red Bull, which is my favorite, I feel like that's a little over the top, you know?
Okay, you don't trust yourself to have that on tap.
No. So I'll go water. I'll go with the caffeinated Crystal Light. I'll go Dr. Pepper. I'll go coconut water, and then throw me a beer in there. Give me a Schooner All American Ale on there.
Love
I need
that.
an ice cold beer on tap.
I love that. All right, this next one comes from Brad Green. This one's for you, Teddy.
Okay.
Did you have a teammate that you absolutely hated to tackle or go up against?
Yes. Corey Schlesinger, fullback from Nebraska, an absolute battering ram. There's nothing, I've never experienced anything like it since ever. The very first play when I was in the NFL at training camp in pads was I was playing Mike linebacker. You know, it's like camp is starting. Like, here we go, training camp, 9-on-7, first like full go period. Here we are. ISO, Corey Schlesinger's the fullback. He absolutely grenades my shoulder, just blows it up. First play of training camp. So it made the rest of training camp miserable, but he was an absolute battering ram. Had a massive head and helmet. You couldn't get to any of his shoulder pad. You couldn't get in. There was no exposed anything. It was all forehead, and it would penetrate directly through your pads right to bone. The guy was an absolute crusher. There was a period of time, like, and he wore these like this old school, like the long plastic face mask that went like an extra bar low, and just broke them nonstop. Snapped face mask left and right. Guy was just brutal. He pretty much for like the first two years that I was there, he would knock out an opposing linebacker, like out, come out there, walk the guy off the field on a game by game basis. It's insane. It's nuts, dude. He he was telling me because I was asking him about it. He's like, this was by that time it was like his 10th year in the league too, which is funny. There was a time where he had knocked out for like 5 years running. He had knocked out cold out of the game every all-pro linebacker for 5 years. It's crazy, dude. Just he was built for one purpose, and that is running an ISO as a fullback.
Did you
Crazy.
ever go to him and like, hey man, we're on the same team here, bud. Like,
You know,
was there
he
ever
is
any discussion at all? Like, hey man, I think we could strike a deal here.
I don't think he understands that language.
Okay.
He is the nicest person you could ever imagine.
Of course he is.
Very soft spoken. Like I told, he drove when I met him, he was like 10 years in the league, and he still drove like the same Mazda 626 that he drove at Nebraska. Okay. Saved every bit of his money, lived in a tiny apartment with his family in Detroit, didn't spend any money, carried his own chalk into the weight room in this little Cool Whip jar. He teaches shop class in Nebraska now, a wood shop class at a high school. Just a very interesting dude. To him, he was like, it's not like he was a psychopath. It was just like, that was like kind of a normal football pace that he played. There wasn't really like any faster or slower. It was just kind of what he did. Nuts.
Old school fullbacks, man. That's a rare breed, brother.
There's like if you Google him, there's a picture of him like in his Detroit Lions, like just like the stock photo. And he's bald, he's got a shaved head, and he's got like these gigantic muscles that are right here on the corners of his forehead. But no one else on the planet has those. He's a different species. I don't know what it is. Nuts.
Oh, what a fantastic answer to that question. That was
Corey
amazing.
Schlesinger.
All right, we got one more question. But first,
3 things matter in banking: service, service, and service. First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they're honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you're headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
and this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all have a lot going on in our lives, work, family, being a parent, all that stuff. And then we are constantly comparing what we have to what other people have. It all adds up and it can become extremely stressful. And it's really helpful to be able to talk to someone about it. That's where BetterHelp comes in. Visit betterhelp.com/OKC to get 10% off your first month. Saw a therapist when I was playing in the NFL. Loved it. Helped me deal with all the stress of trying to stay on a roster. And it was extremely helpful. Still helpful for me. Go and see a therapist once a month. Just talk about everything going on in my life. That's what you can do with BetterHelp. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you go from there. You can even switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit betterhelp.com/OKC to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/OKC to get 10% off your first month.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's hoplessclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
Last question comes from John Shupe. He asks, if you guys were given a time machine to go back and play one season on any Super Bowl winning team, which team would you choose and why? He gives some examples, like Teddy going back to the Bears in 85 so he can sing the hit song Super Bowl Shuffle, or Gabe going back to the 89 49ers so he could hike the ball to Joe Montana in his soft, gentle hands for a full season. This is a really interesting question. Thanks, John.
Yeah, that is interesting. Man.
Mine is easy. I can go first if
Okay.
you want me to.
Yeah.
What was it, the 2021-2022 season when the Rams won the Super Bowl, beat the
Yeah.
Bengals in the Super Bowl? I would have given anything to play in Sean McVay's system. Outside zone, boot off of it, extended play action, move the pocket. I wanted to be in that system more than anything. And actually, it's funny. I actually really tried hard to get into it. It was 2017, had a bad concussion in training camp. Cleveland ends up cutting me. The guy that was my O-line coach in Buffalo had become the O-line coach in LA. And I called him and said, dude, get me to LA, please. I just wanted to get there and play in a preseason game and maybe make the practice squad. I knew if I got there that I would stick in that system because it was perfect for me, Ted. It was like, this is everything I'm good at in football. I just got to get there, and it ended up not working out, but I tried so hard. And to Cromer's credit, Aaron Cromer was the O-line coach. He tried to get me there, and it just didn't end up coming together. But Stafford was the quarterback on team. I had a relationship with him because we played together in Detroit. Loved him. Great leader, great player. I think I would have been really good in that system. And I think I don't know if I would have played at all. Probably not with the way that the rest of my career would, but it just would have been so satisfying to be in a system and on a team where I just felt like my skill set was being maximized. So I remember watching that Super Bowl, Cooper Kupp catches the game winner and just sitting there going, damn it, if I just would have been able to get in the door, but was never able to get in the door.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I think the only NFL football game I ever went to before I played in one was a preseason game for the Denver Broncos. Like probably would have
Ooh.
been like in the 93 or 90. Well, it's probably more like 90, 91 or 92. Anyways, point of that was massive Elway fan. Loved Elway, loved the Broncos because of that. So I would have liked to have latched onto one of those Broncos Super Bowls. That would have been cool. But like for me, when Tampa won the Super Bowl and their defense, I loved that defense. I played in that defense in Detroit. Loved all the coaches that kind of pioneered it. Like that would have been the defense that I would have wanted to play on. Rondé Barber, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp. Just that team was awesome.
That's a good one. Now you make me want to be part of one of those Broncos teams, but because you talk about wide zone and flying off the ball,
Terrell
those
Davis,
teams in
baby.
98, 99, oh my gosh. And all those linemen, you go back and you look at those linemen, I mean, you'd look at them and they would be labeled as undersized, right?
Yeah.
They're interior guys. Maybe I would have been perfect for that.
Man.
That's a good one. Dang it. Stupid. Another fun Q&A, Ted. These are so much
That's
fun,
good.
man.
I know it. You never know what direction we're going to go. Makes it fun.